even up with the whole treasury.
We sticking with CCM.
The next Prime Minister he'll never be.
We sticking with CCM.
CCM will be celebrating victory. We sticking with CCM party. CCM party. The blue machine ready. We sticking with CCM party. CCM party. The blue machine ready. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tonight is your night. It's your one, baby. Do what you like. Why know you please, baby? Do what you want to be tonight. Have your way with me. Carry on, baby. Carry on, baby. Carry on, carry on, carry on. Wind it up, wind it up, wind it up. When I shake it up, I shake it up, I shake it up. Oh, you like that, yeah. When you bend it up, you bend it up, you bend it up, you bend it up, I like that, yeah. When you give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, baby, I like that, yeah. When you give me all of that, and you put it on this front, I like that. You have me singing 911, emergency. 911, emergency. I don't think I could handle all that, baby. I don't think you could manage all that, baby. Sweet and nice, nothing else but sweet, boy.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real.
Chopping a style of the rhythm like angle bang. Angle bang. Have a little money in my pocket 'cause I just got paid. I could do it a little more, but I'm still irate. So now I'm stepping out to a party. Trouble when I link up with my friends and family. Man, anywhere we go, we mash it up. We rip it up, we mash it up. Girl, them a fi bubble and them a fi back it up. Everybody see we and they say we act it up. We just living, mash it up. We rip it up, we mash it up. Girl, them a fi bubble and them a fi back it up. Everybody see we and they say we act it up. Hey, so I go take a little drink, and I go do what I want, and I go wine if I feel like, and I go live how I want. Hey, so I go take a little drink, and I go do what I want, and I go wine if I feel like, yeah, and I go live how I want. You don't know devices. Work hard, play harder. Work hard.
My name is Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis. We have employed state-of-the-art technology using fiber optic cable across the island of Nevis and using CCTV surveillance. The idea here is a commitment from my government to have a safer and more secure island for our citizens and residents. And so this was a massive investment made by us in running fiber optic cable across the island and putting in cameras and in commissioning just recently this center, which acts as a nerve center for the entire system island-wide. We are taking and using technology to take security to the next level here on the island of Nevis, and we're very proud about this collaboration that we've done to create for the island a much safer and secure environment.
My name is Eric Evelyn, and I am running for the constituency of Nevis 10. And I'm here because I want to be re-elected to continue to serve the people of constituency Nevis 10 and the people of Nevis, and by extension the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I believe that I have what it takes to represent and to represent well. I believe that representation requires commitment, dedication, passion, and service with compassion. I believe that I bring all of that and more. I believe that I bring the energy that is required to go to Bastille and to represent and represent well.
My name is Alexis Jeffers, and I am the proud representative of Nevis 11, which includes St. Thomas and St. James. I have been the representative of this proud constituency since June of 2020. You have said in the past that you needed quality representation, you needed serious representation and dedicated representation, which was lacking for 20 years prior to 2020. So I'm asking the people of St. James and St. Thomas Parish once again to repose your confidence, your trust in me once again to go back to Bastille and champion your cause there as your representative of Nevis 11.
My name is Mark Brantley, and I'm the proud leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement and the exceedingly proud representative of the people of District 9, comprising the parishes of St. John's and St. Paul's. Since 2007, the people of Number 9 have voted for me consistently and have sent me to Bastille. Election after election, they have reposed their trust and confidence in me. Some say, why should we send you to Bastille? I think the answer is simple, that in me you have someone who is committed, someone who's dedicated, and someone who's strong. Someone who will stand up in Bastille for what is best for my constituents and best for the island of Nevis. My name is Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis. We have employed state-of-the-art technology using fiber optic cable across the island of Nevis and using CCTV surveillance. The idea here is a commitment from my government to have a safer and more secure island for our citizens and residents. And so this was a massive investment made by us in running fiber optic cable across the island, in putting in cameras, and in commissioning just recently this center, which acts as a nerve center for the entire system island-wide. We are taking and using technology to take security to the next level here on the island of Nevis, and we're very proud about this collaboration that we've done to create for the island a much safer and secure environment.
It we CCM party, CCM party, the blue machine ready. We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to bring prosperity. Tell the serpent in PLP,
We sticking with CCM.
he could give an happy the whole treasury.
We sticking with CCM.
The next Prime Minister.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening to the good people of Fountain. This is the voice of the Concerned Citizens Movement. One, two. 1 2 1 2 mic test. This is the voice of the Concerned Citizens Movement, and we are about to start our public meeting here in Fountain this evening. But as is customary with this party, we always give God thanks before we start any meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are listening within the sound of my voice, listening via the various media houses, Facebook, YouTube, Von Radio, and all other media outlets, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your continued blessings on us as a people, on us as a party. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving us the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to be able to represent all of the people of Nevis. We thank you, Father, for giving us strong leadership in the persons of Alexis Jeffers, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, and our party leader, the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you continue to guide and bless us. We ask that you open the eyes of the good people of St. James's, the ears, open up their hearts, so that they may understand, of course, that the Concerned Citizens Movement is the party that is representing all of the people of Nevis. We ask this and more in your holy name. Amen. Good people of Fountain Village, Westbury, Mount Lily, wherever you are under the sound of my voice this evening,
This is the voice of the Concerned Citizens Movement Party. And as you are aware, the elections has been called. As you are aware, the Concerned Citizens Movement is fighting for Nevis's fair share. Ladies and gentlemen, this election is all about Nevis. It is an election that we are calling on all Nevisians to rally under one umbrella. This is not a time to make joke. It is not a time to take chances with your future, your children's future, and the island of Nevis. It is probably the most important time in the history of politics in St. Kitts and Nevis. Because this election will decide the direction that this federation go on August 6th. August 5th is the election, I know that. But on August 6th, the next day, this election will decide where we go as a people and as a nation. So it is not an election to play with. It is not an election to take chances with. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, of Fountain and the surrounding areas, there's only one party that is fighting for all the people of Nevis. One party fighting for Nevis's fair share. And we would have heard from those on the other side, I call them the ANP, the anti-Nevis party. We would have heard them trying very much to change the subject, as if this is some sort of a game. This election here in Nevis is about Nevis's fair share, nothing else. Our three candidates, the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, and the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, has all made sacrifices, serious sacrifices, on behalf of the people of Nevis. They could have been down there collecting their monies, continuing on with the bad behavior that we have seen from Dr. Timothy Harris. But they have decided that the good people of Nevis are too important to them to stand for what is wrong. And so they have decided to come out and stand up for all the people of Nevis. And I've said many times, ladies and gentlemen of Fountain, that we have been asking for strong leadership to go across the waters for many years. We would have seen others going before them, and we would have complained that we're not getting strong enough leadership across the waters. Because you know, and I know, that every time you go across the waters, somebody is trying to sabotage Nevis. And I am pleased, very pleased this evening to see that we at last have three representatives who have gone across the St. Kitts and stand up as proud Nevisians and say, hell no. No, not this time. This time we want what belongs to Nevis. And ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, every time Nevis has a fight on its hands in St. Kitts, the ANP, the anti-Nevis party, that you know as the NRP always hold the side of St. Kitts. We would have seen that in 2013 when our check was bounced by the Labour Party. The ANP supported the Labour Party then. They were part and parcel of them. We would have seen names taken off the voters list by the ANP. We would have seen Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris refusing to give Nevis its fair share. And who do we see supporting them again? The ANP, the anti-Nevis party, the party you call the NRP. This election, ladies and gentlemen, should be an election where all Nevisians fall under the same banner, fighting for the people of Nevis. You're going to hear a lot about that tonight, this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of speakers lined up for you. My task tonight is just to chair the proceedings. So at this point, I want to call to the podium the Honorable, well, I almost said the Honorable Stedman Trust. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stedman Trust, to brief you, bring your brief remarks this evening. Stedman Trust.
Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. There's a state in the country, and his name is Timothy. Tell the scam divisions want their money. He went and signed the treaty down there by the library. Calling a division is his daddy. The man is a scoundrel, it's plain to see. I hear he teaming up with the NRP. But give all of them this message from me. CCM is the one who want to represent we. We sticking with we CCM party. CCM party.
Good night, good night, good night to the people of Fountain and the surrounding areas, to those who are with us by means of radio, on social media. This is the voice of the people of Nevis, the concerned citizen movement. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a good day. It is a good feeling, ladies and gentlemen, because in a few short days, ladies and gentlemen, it will be Liberation Day. It will be victory for the concerned citizen movement, ladies and gentlemen. And so it's a day that I'm looking forward to with great anticipation. When the patriots, the Nevisians who actually have Nevis at heart, will go to the polls and vote overwhelmingly for their party, the concerned citizen movement. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come time after time after time and asked you for a vote. And you have been good to CCM. But we're asking you one more time to go to the polls. This election, ladies and gentlemen, may be the most consequential election that we've ever had. This is an election where we're fighting for the heart and soul, not only of the country, but of Nevis. And so we're asking each one of you to go out and vote for the concerned citizen movement. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the best team. We have a team who will go to St. Kitts and continue to fight for the people of Nevis. We have a strong team. We have a committed team. We have an experienced team. And we have an honest team, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the team that will go to St. Kitts on the 6th of August and continue their fight to ensure that Nevis gets its fair share. So, ladies and gentlemen, understand this. We are in a federal election, not a local election. Truth be told, after the elections are over, the CCM will still be in control of the Nevis Island administration. But the issue is, there is money out there belonging to Nevis, and we have to go and get it. And so we have chosen a team of our party leader, General Mark Brantley, our Deputy Premier, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, and the Honorable Eric Evelyn to go and get it for us. And they have started. They have not finished. They have started, ladies and gentlemen. And I am guaranteeing you, when you give them the chance come the 5th of August, they will complete the job and they will bring home the bacon for us, ladies and gentlemen. You see, from my calculation, ladies and gentlemen, just a rough calculation, we are due over $1 billion that they have for us. 1 billion. I hear all this song and dance. Oh, they get 400 million. What have they done with it? 400 million sounds a lot to them because they are accustomed of bringing nothing. And so what I'm, ladies and gentlemen, they get excited and they wonder, how did CCM get that do? That is simply because we have strong leadership, strong representation, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'm asking you once again to keep the momentum. Keep the momentum, ladies and gentlemen. And we can send our team to demand what is our fair share. All we want is our fair share. St. Kitts will have its fair share, and Nevis will have its fair share. For too long, ladies and gentlemen, we have, and let me tell you something, the reason why they're jumping up and talking about all the 400 million, please remember that they were in a coalition with St. Kitts, not once, but twice. They bought nothing to Nevis. And whereas the CCM has bought 400 million so far, you know what they did? When they were in coalition with St. Kitts, instead of standing up for Nevis, they bounced Nevis check. I want you to remember, when NRP was in coalition with St. Kitts, they bounced Nevis check. Could that be people who love Nevis? Could that be people you want to send out to demand that we get our fair share? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying to you, the CCM is the only choice for Nevis.
We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City.
You know, the other day I listened to a clip, and this clip was from our national hero, Dr. Seaman Daniel. And in this clip, he was talking about the qualities, the good leadership qualities of Mark Brantley. But towards the end, he said something that I found very, very interesting. He said, the new NRP has relegated Nevisians to become beggars. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we of the CCM are not beggars. We are owners, and that's why we are going down to get what is rightfully ours. We don't want anybody who is afraid. And if you listen to them, there is no intention for them to go and demand our share. In fact, they told us plainly, they don't care what they do with their money. They don't care. How could you in good conscience vote for a party who does not care what happens to Nevis' money? We want people who care about this country. You see, the reason why they could say that, when you go into politics, ladies and gentlemen, you must first love people and you must love your country. And nobody who loves their country will say they don't care what they do with our money when we're up here wanting the money to do, not for us, but for the people of Nevis. So I'm asking you to reject that kind of talk. This year, this election is all about Nevis. It's all about Nevis. The only issue is our fair share. And so I want you to pick up the chorus. Wherever you go, tell people you want your fair share. Anybody who's telling you different, you need to reject them. You need to reject them. Now is our time. Now is our time. We have people of experience, as I said before. People who will stand up. People who will stand up and demand and get our fair share. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, 400 million is just a pittance of what we should get. But you know what? It is 400 million times more than what NRP bought when they were coalition. 400 million times more. And so who will you choose? 0 or 400 million? You have got to choose, ladies and gentlemen, the men who have proven time and time again that they're the best for Nevis. And I said to you, the team that we're sending to Bastia is the very best team that we can get. And I want you to support them. I want you to support them. Put all your energy in supporting the concerned citizens movement. Over in this area, you have the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, who works night and day and night, to ensure that the people of St. James's have a better standard of living. Why he does that? Because he loves you and is committed to you. And some saying, you can't change now, but give him the opportunity. Give him the opportunity to finish what you started. Give him the opportunity. Over in Gingerland, we have the Honorable Eric Evelyn, who works night and day to ensure the people of Gingerland and the people of Nevis generally have a better standard of living. Looking out for the people of Nevis day and night, night and day. And I'm asking all the people in Gingerland on the sound of my voice, when election day comes, go to the polls and vote for Eric Evelyn. And then we have a party leader. We have a party leader. And let me pause a while. Because as I'm saying this, we are making this song and dance about a fair share. And they're saying, don't you think it? Oh, Nevis want too much. You know why we have all that money coming in for the passport? It is because of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who is the Premier of Nevis, who is a party leader, and Mark Bransley, that has caused that to happen. And so, when he stands up and says, look, I want my fair share that I bought in. What's wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen?
Get up, stand up for your right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, for CCM to show itself strong once again and to send a message to all and sundry that CCM is the only party for Nevis. Let there be no doubt. Let there be no question. Mark Bentley, Alexis Jeffers, and Eric Evelyn will go to Bastia and they will bring home the bacon.
We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City.
You know, our team is not only the best team for Nevis, but it is the best team for St. Kitts and Nevis. And so the people in St. Kitts are also looking forward for the CCM to come true. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the country as a whole wants good leadership. And when they stand things and look across at Nevis, they see what is good leadership. And so they're asking you to vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, feel good about your party because it's a good party. And hear this, who God bless, no man can curse. And this party is a blessed party. This party is a blessed party. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you, each one of us do what we have to do to ensure not only that we win, but I want at the end of this election, that is the end of NRP. These are serious times. Serious times, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't want when going forward, we have these things tangling up our foot. We need to go forward with purpose, with vision. And you could only have that in the Concerned Citizens Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the greatest team in politics in the Western Hemisphere. Mark Bentley, Alexis Jeffers, and Eric Evelyn. Ladies and gentlemen, with the team, how can we lose? How can we lose, ladies and gentlemen? They are true patriots who will fight for you, who will represent you. And you know, you're not going to hear any scandal with these guys. You will not hear that. These are honest, decent gentlemen that you can be proud of to say, these are my representatives. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have the greatest pleasure. I have an abundance of joy knowing that come the 5th of July, 5th of August, I want to come forward. Come the 5th of August, we are going to send a team to Bastia that the entire world will be proud of. People, solid as a rock. Good, solid as a rock. People who know what it is to look after people, to represent people. And I'm saying to you, take it from me, these guys will look after you. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these few words, I implore you to stay and stick with the Concerned Citizens Movement. Don't gamble with the future. Don't rock the boat. Strengthen the hands of these two men as they go to sink it. Let's get an overwhelming victory come the 5th of August. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And may God bless you. And may God bless the Concerned Citizen Movement.
We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City. We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to remove Timothy. There's a snake in the country, and his name is Timothy. Tell that scam divisions want their money. He went and
Thank you, Mr. Trust. Thank you, thank you. I want to say good evening to all of the CCM supporters who are here this evening. I knew that when the campaign started all of the CCM people will come out in their numbers. And I'm seeing a lot of blue this evening. And I'm sure as we go forward, we are going to see a lot more blue. Fountain, fountain, fountain. Nevis is calling on you this evening. We are calling on you to send a very serious message to the ANP, the anti-Nevis party. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of speakers lined up tonight, so I won't take any more of your time. I want to call to the podium to address you this evening, the Honorable Spencer Brand. Honorable Spencer Brand.
Would you stand up and see your country dying and never let a helping happen? Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly?
Thank you very much, Mr. DJ. And thank you very much, King Keith, this and that Scarborough. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very pleasant good evening to all those who are viewing and listening this meeting here in the heart of Fountain. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the 5th of August is Freedom Day. On the 5th of August, 2022, is Freedom Day for the island of Nevis and for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And Fountain, we are here to say to you tonight that we want you to be a part of Freedom Day. We are here to say to you tonight that we want you to be a part of this Liberation Day that is taking place on the 5th of August, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen here in Fountain, we have come tonight to say to you that we are offering to you a man who have been representing the island of Nevis in the St. James's constituency. And we are saying to you that from 2020, he have been representing you at the federal level. I am speaking about none other than the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Fountain and St. James's, we are appealing to you to ensure that on election day, you give your overwhelming support to the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Now, what is this election is all about? Why are we having a federal election 3 years ahead of schedule? Why is it that the people of Nevis must once again participate in another election? Why is it that the island of Nevis must once again be turned upside down because of another election? But I'm saying to the people of Fountain, I am saying to the people of Nevis in particular, that you have an opportunity to right a wrong. You have an opportunity to ensure that when the numbers are tallied on the island of Nevis, that you give your Concerned Citizens Movement Party all 3 seats on the island of Nevis.
Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum.
I am saying to you that this is a critical election, ladies and gentlemen. I am saying to you that for many years we have had many politicians from the island of Nevis who have gone to St. Kitts and have sought to represent the island of Nevis. They have stood up and they have tried to fight for the people on the island of Nevis. There have been little success. But I'm saying to you that with this CCM team, you are guaranteed great success at the federal level, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen in the past that we have sent representatives from this constituency for many years. And he stood up in Parliament and proclaimed to the world that Nevis don't need anything. Now, how could any politician who is representing people can proclaim to the world that you as a part of government, you as a part of a house of assembly can say that your people don't need anything? It was a joke, but it wasn't funny. It was a joke, but it wasn't funny. I am saying to you, the people of Nevis, I am saying to you, the people of Fountain tonight, that this is serious business.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright.
I like the DJ tonight, boy. I like the DJ. I am saying to the people of Fountain and the people of Nevis that come the 5th of August, when you go to the polls and you ensure that you vote overwhelmingly for your CCM candidates and send them to Bastia, we are saying to you, you need not to worry, because they will stand up for the people of Nevis. They will stand up for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
If Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night?
So we have come tonight to make the case. We have come here in the heart of Fountain to make the case. We have come to this area that have had a rich history in politics on the island of Nevis. We have come to a place where we know that we have seen great men and great women who have come out of this very village. And we have come tonight to say to you that we are appealing to you to give your support to your candidate, your next representative, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers.
We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you often hear that old people say, don't start anything that you can't finish. You have always heard the saying from old people. And you know, it is very interesting that we have had a lot of wise men and women in this country. The men that have gone to the best universities or the best school, but they were very wise. They had education way beyond their years because they have had many life experience. And they have often said, ladies and gentlemen, don't start anything that you can't finish. Now, I am not someone who often interfere with people. But I want to say to the people of Fountain tonight that the NRP is bringing to you a lady. And you know, we just start to ask a few questions the other day. And they said they don't get frightened. We just simply start to ask a few questions. And they want to send liar. Well, maybe I need to hire some liars as well. But ladies and gentlemen, the fact is, our elders often say to us, do not start anything that you can't finish. And I want to say to the people of Fountain, the NRP is bringing to you a lady. I am hearing that she came back to Nevis over 2 decades ago. I am hearing that she does not even know, or she did not even know who her neighbors were. I am hearing, ladies and gentlemen, all kind of things about the not so young lady. But you know, I am saying to you, the voters of Fountain, the voters of St. James's, the voters of Nevis number 11, you know Alexis. You know Alexis. Alexis grew up amongst you. Alexis walked the streets with you. Alexis was one of those persons who made a significant sacrifice to be your representative. Alexis would have said to you that he gave up his US citizenship to become your representative. And I'm saying to you that you must understand that he is a man that is committed to the cause of Nevis number 11, St. James's and St. Thomas's. And we now have some lady who is now coming in the last shower rain and want to represent you. Well, I have one message for the people of St. James's, for the people of St. Thomas's.
Bye bye.
Hey, Mr. DJ, you know the thing, Mr. DJ. Play it again.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Play it again, Mr. DJ.
Bye bye. Bye.
That's right. That is what I want the people of Nevis number 11 to do. That is what I want the people of Nevis number 9 to do. That is what I want the people of Nevis number 10 to do. Tell them bye-bye. Come in, Mr. DJ.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Over. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said at the beginning, that Freedom Day is on August 5th. And I want every single citizen on the island of Nevis to take this election very seriously. We have been walking the length and breadth of the island of Nevis. And your CCM party is doing its part. We are canvassing, we are campaigning, we are making the appeal. But you too have a role to play. You have the most critical role to play in this election. You will be called upon on the 5th of August to go to the polls and cast your ballot. And we are saying to you that when you go to the polls on the 5th of August, your ballot must be cast for your Concerned Citizens Movement Party. There is no other political party on the island of Nevis that is standing up for you. None. And I make no apology for saying that. Because you could imagine, we have a lady in Nevis number 9 running. And she have made it very clear. She have proclaimed it to the world that if by chance she were to win and be called upon to form the government, she have said in no uncertain terms that she do not want any portfolio. She have signaled already to the people that the only thing that she wants is the pay but not the work. And I'm saying to you that the Honorable Alexis Jeffers could have taken the pay. He could have said in Bastia and take the insult. The Honorable Mark Brantley could have taken the pay. He could have stayed in Bastia and take the insult. The Honorable Eric Evelyn could have taken the pay and stayed in Bastia and take the insult. But these are men of impeccable character. They are standing with the people of Nevis. So your role is very simple. Your role is extremely simple. On the 5th of August, go out in your numbers and vote for your CCM party.
We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, all of you would have heard about this Charlestown Accord. And while there are some who are giving all kind of excuse about this Charlestown Accord, I want to point out to you two fundamental points in that Charlestown Accord. The Charlestown Accord specifically speak to equitable share for the islands of St. Kitts and Nevis based on the population. The Charlestown Accord also gives an indication as to who would be the Prime Minister. And it is often sad, ladies and gentlemen, when I hear intelligent people, when I hear people who ought to know better, when I hear people who should be putting their country above themselves, are saying that the Charlestown Accord does not even worth the paper that it's written on. And I want the people of Nevis to pay attention to these things. Because the same Charlestown Accord, which allows the present Prime Minister to become the Prime Minister, and all of a sudden, they do not think that the fair share and the equitable share is important. I want you to take note of those two things. Because they are saying to you that on one hand, the Charlestown Accord gives some guidance as to who would have been the Prime Minister. But on the second hand, they are not prepared to honor the same agreement when it comes to equitable share. And I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, I am saying to you that on the 5th of August, you must correct that. On the 5th of August, you must correct that. And you can correct that by ensuring, that you send your 3 CCM representatives back to the federal level, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me see you raise your hands and put them in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to also do something else for me. All of you have influence over other persons. We have a small island. We have a closely knit island. And every one of you have influence over other persons. I am asking you and I'm encouraging you to encourage your friends, your family, your co-workers, your acquaintances to support the CCM party. Because this is an election, ladies and gentlemen, for the very development of the island of Nevis. I am saying to you that when the numbers are tallied, we must ensure that your 3 CCM candidates are re-elected.
Who you rolling with? 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 Who you rolling with?
And so, ladies and gentlemen, I know we have quite a number of speakers. But I want to say to you that in Nevis number 9, we are encouraging you to stick with the Honorable Mark Brantley. In Nevis number 10, we are encouraging you to stick with the Honorable Eric Evelyn. And in Nevis number 11, we are encouraging you to stick, ladies and gentlemen, with the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Vote for your CCM party, vote for your country, and make sure that when the numbers are tallied, that we will ensure that we will receive our fair share. Thank you, good night, and God bless.
Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. There's a snake in the country, and his name is Timothy. Tell that scam divisions want their money. He went and signed the treaty down there by the library, calling a division is his daddy. The man is a scoundrel, it's plain to see. I hear he teaming up with the NRP. But give all of them this message from me. CCM is the one who want to represent we. We sticking with we CCM party. CCM party to fight for principle.
Thank you very much, Honorable Spencer Brand. Ladies and gentlemen of Fountain, I want you to take a serious look at the two candidates who are vying for your support in the constituency of St. James and St. Thomas's Parish. Because that is important. Apart from the fact that the CCM side is fighting for all of Nevis, fighting for Nevis's fair share, I want you to take a serious look at the two candidates. Because one of them is the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, who would have done wonderful for the people of St. James's. Extremely wonderful. And the other one is a non-entity. This seat here is supposed to be increased up to 400 plus when these elections are over. Because Alexis Jeffers would have demonstrated what he's capable of doing. And you would have seen all the projects that he would have done here in St. James's. I'm saying to you that come August 5th, your decision is easy, people of Fountain. But added to that, we, the Concerned Citizens Movement Party, are fighting for all of Nevis to ensure that Nevis gets its fair share. That makes it even easier. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a number of speakers still to come, so it won't take much more of your time. I want to introduce to the podium the Honorable Eric Evelyn to address you this evening. Honorable Eric Evelyn.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. Come to me, wild and wild. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. You're simply the best.
Oh, yes.
Better than anyone.
I see you loving the song. Simply the best. Good night, good night. I'm feeling you. Good night, Fountain. Good night, St. James. Good night, CCM country. Yeah. Good night, everybody. And I know the CCM massive, they were only waiting for the bell to ring. They were only waiting for the bell to ring. And you know what? They keep it back, but he had to ring. He had to ring. Because judgment day has to come.
Yeah, we ready. 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 Ready.
And now that the bell don't ring, CCM massive ready.
We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Ready.
This is a party don't play when it come to election, you know. This is a party that don't play when it come to election. The big blue machine is oiled and ready to roll.
We're gonna chase those crazy ballheads out of town.
I get a little more energy since the bell ring. And the energy going mount and mount until election day. Because, you know what? I already feeling the victory. CCM already feeling the victory. And the song that I came up to, simply the best. You know why? Because the CCM team, the dream team, these three men, we are simply the best for Nevis.
You're simply the best. Better than all.
You know what? We're here tonight in Fountain, right? We're in St. James because we're here to support our brother, your man for this area, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. And we're here to support Alexis. But we are a team. And this team that you're looking at right behind me here on the stage, this is absolutely the best by test. And so, I'm going to start off by saying something that Spencer said earlier tonight. That these three Hebrew boys, they have impeccable character. And that is why we are the best. Of course, the Honorable Mark Brandley, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, they have been in politics long before me. And all of what the opposition and all the other people who don't like them try to find, they never can find anything against Alexis and Mark. All of what they try is some kind of little hatred, some kind of little grudge, which is so unfortunate. But you cannot find one shred of evidence to say that there has been any scandal, any corruption with either Mark or Alexis, who have been there for a long time. And I don't even have to talk about me. Because ever since I came in 2017, I said, these hands are clean. I didn't even have to wash them, and they're clean. And they will always remain clean.
You're simply the best. Better than all.
And so, the dream team, we have three men of impeccable character to represent the people of Nevis. That includes your man Alexis Jeffers in Nevis 11. That is why we are the best. This team, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone to St. Kitts, and in less than 2 short years, we have been tested, we have proven ourselves to not only Nevis, but to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And the refrain again is, we are the best. We are the best by test, and trust me, if we have done so much, well, Alexis and myself, in less than 2 years, imagine what we can do in another 5 years.
Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum.
Imagine what we can do in 5 years, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why for the elections that are coming up on the 5th of August, there is absolutely one choice that the people of Nevis have to make. And the choice is Alexis, Mark, and yours truly. The only choice is the CCM. We are the best because you know what? This team of the 3 Hebrew boys, we have put country above self. We are living our motto.
We sticking with we CCM party. CCM party to fight for Green City.
Yes, Spencer was right. We could have gone to St. Kitts and taken all the insult. And we could have gone to St. Kitts and realizing that we are not getting our fair share for Nevis. And we could have stayed there and not say anything. But we decided, no, we have to stand for the people who sent us to Boston to represent them. We have to stand for this country of Nevis. We have to stand for this island of Nevis. And so we said, you know what? Country above self. And all who want to say they fire us, nobody fired us. Because the people of Nevis hired us, and the people of Nevis will never fire us. Because we've been doing a great job since we went to Boston. And we have not only done a great job, but as I said in Hanley's Word a couple nights ago, we have proven ourselves to be the best in our respective ministries.
Better days are coming, change your ways.
Your man, Alexis Jeffers, your representative, who you will vote for overwhelmingly on the 5th of August, who you will send back to Bastille to be a part of the federal government, who will continue to represent you exceptionally well. Your man has been the best at that Ministry of Agriculture in many, many years. And the people of St. Kitts will tell you that in less than 2 years. In Nevis too as well, because of the fact that he was doing such a great job as the Minister of Agriculture in Nevis, he decided, well, listen, I want the same job over there. And he went over there in a year and less than 6 months, a year and 5 months, revolutionized agriculture in St. Kitts. And he has not only done it for St. Kitts, but because he's the federal Minister of Agriculture, he has ensured that Nevis got its share of what was being done in St. Kitts. Through the instrumentality of your man, Alexis Jeffers, he was able to bring several greenhouses here on the island of Nevis. And that is what he has always been fighting for. Alexis has always fought for the cause of St. James and for Nevis. At the federal level, he has fought for Nevis, and at the local level, he has always fought for St. James. And that is why, Fountain, that is why, St. James, you must continue to stick with your man, Alexis Jeffers. When Alexis is at the federal cabinet and when he's at the local cabinet, it's all for Nevis and it's all for St. James. Sometimes I ask Alexis, and he always said jokingly that he wants the session for St. James. But I tell him, no, we have to work together because we're a team. But because of the fact that he's always fighting for you, and when people will come and talk their nonsense and say that nothing has been done, Alexis hasn't produced, CCM hasn't produced, I wonder, I keep wondering, where are these people living? Are they sleeping? When I listen to the nonsense and they keep saying, where the money gone? Where the money gone? Are these people not living on the island of Nevis? When I walk through the length and breadth of this island, when we do our walkthroughs, and I see the quality of life that the people of Nevis are living compared to the rest of the Caribbean. This is an administration. This is a team. This is a party that has managed the affairs of Nevis with flying colors.
We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party to fight for Green City.
You know, we were over in Barnescott last week, I think. And I got into a little small argument with a gentleman. And Alexis tell me, Eric, you shouldn't even argue with him. Because he came with this foolish argument. And asking me if I see how Nevis people living. I thought that was an insult. Because to tell me you're living here on Nevis and you're going to say Nevis people ain't living good. When you look at the standard of living on the island of Nevis and you compare it to the other islands in the region, those of us who have traveled, tell me which island in the region has a better standard of living than the island of Nevis. Tell me. I have traveled to all of them. And tell me which of the islands in the region the people are living better than people of Nevis. I know, of course, there are struggles on the island of Nevis. I won't say they are not struggles, but there are struggles all over. But when we look at the way this island of Nevis has been managed so prudently, and the way our Nevisian brothers and sisters, the strides they have made in purchasing their own land, building their own homes, owning their own vehicles. When we look at the standard of living on the island of Nevis, you must say kudos to the CCM administration. You must. Very nice.
God bless our country, bless our native land.
And it's because Nevis is so nice why you gotta stick with the CCM. Because we are the best. And so, I want the good people of Fountain and St. James to have absolutely no doubt in your mind that come the 5th day of August 2022, Alexis Jeffers, the hammer, that's who you're going to place your X next to. And as we have been saying all along during this campaign, we are a team. So, Alexis will not go to Bastia by himself. Eric will not go to Bastia by himself. Mark will not go to Bastia by himself. We are going together. Because we have proven that we have stood up for you, and we will continue to stand for and with you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here in St. James, on the 5th of August, make sure that you take your family and friends with you. Now, we have been hearing this refrain many times during federal elections that, oh, federal elections are not important, I'm not interested. But I am asking the good people of Fountain, I am asking the good people of St. James, I am asking the good people of the island of Nevis to take this federal election very seriously. It is a crucial and a critical election that could determine the future of Nevis. It could determine your future. It could determine whether or not we get our fair share of the CBI monies. It could determine whether or not we go to Bastia with a united voice. And so, I want you all to start looking for your voter ID cards. The bell has been rung. Start looking for your voter ID cards. Start encouraging your family and friends to look for their voter ID cards. start to ensure that your name is still on the voters list. Because, as this and that rightly said, we want to leave Nevis 11 with an increased mandate in 2022. You
increase the momentum, increase the momentum, increase the momentum, increase the momentum.
You hear that? Increase the momentum. And so I want the people of St. James to increase the lead of Alexis Jeffers come the 5th of August. You know, the good people of Nevis 11, which includes St. James and St. Thomas's, you did a good thing. You created history in 2020. And let us not turn back the hands of time. As I said over in Brick Hill, Nevis 11 is what they're cooping. They're not cooping my seat because they know they don't stand a chance in Gingerland. They're not cooping Nevis 10 because they know they don't have a chance against the sheriff. I don't know why they have this false thing like, oh, they're watching Alexis seat. I don't know where they get that false thing from. Where they get this false hope from. Because I know the good people of St. James, you are CCM country.
Increase the momentum, increase the momentum, increase the momentum, increase the momentum.
And so, the great job that you started in 2020 by sending Alexis Jeffers, getting number 11 in the CCM bag for the very first time, we want that to continue. We want the A team, the dream team, to continue the fantastic work that we have started at the federal level. And so, come the 5th of August, we want you to send Alexis Jeffers back to Bastia with a resounding victory. Increase the mandate, increase the momentum.
We sticking with CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City.
We want you to increase the numbers. We want you to send the people in the opposition packing. Send them packing. Because that is what we're going to do in Nevis 9, 10, and 11. And bye. And as I keep saying on the platform, and I'm going to repeat it again, those of you in Fountain, those of you in St. James, those of you in Nevis who don't intend to vote for the party and the 3 representatives that will stand up for Nevis, who will stand up for you, stay home. Don't bother go to vote. Because you know what? Even if you go, we will win in such a resounding fashion that your vote don't waste. So I'm encouraging you, Fountain, St. James, vote for Alexis Jeffers. Nevis 10, yours truly. And in Nevis 9, the sheriff himself, the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley.
We sticking with CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City.
We are the dream team. We are the A team. We are your only choice. We are simply the best. God bless you. Thank you and have a good night.
You're simply the best. Better than all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Eric Evelyn. Thank you, Eric. Ladies and gentlemen, just by way of information, now that the campaign has started, I'm sure you are aware that we are also celebrating the 48th anniversary of Culturama. So we will not have any meeting tomorrow night. The three candidates will be on the mark tomorrow night, so tune in and ensure that you listen to what the three candidates have to say to you tomorrow night on the mark. On Thursday is the official opening of Culturama, so we won't have any meeting on that night. But on Friday night, we go to Brong Hill. We go to Brong Hill on Friday night, and we start at 7 o'clock. What we are going to do with these meetings, because we are celebrating Culturama at the same time, we will be starting the meetings at 7 o'clock each night. So Brong Hill, 7 o'clock on Friday. That is our next meeting. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Eric said something before he left the podium. He said, if you're not going to vote for the concerned citizens movement in this election, stay home. I promise you some time ago that I will do a jingle. And tonight I want to release that jingle for you. Let it go, Mr. Diddy.
This message is for those who chose to oppose. If you're not supporting Nevis, we don't want you in we business.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
We fighting for we fair share, and it look like you don't care.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
We voting for unity with the CCM party.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
You let them bounce we check already when you join the Labour Party.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
Now you teaming up with PLP to undermine Queen City.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
All you tell them is problem if they sabotage we again.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
This election is about patriotism, not favoritism.
Go home and happy,
Sing!
disturbing our way.
We're voting for Alexis, for Eric, for Brantley.
Go home and happy,
Sing!
disturbing our way.
We must ensure that we speak with one voice, in unity.
Go home and happy, disturbing our way.
All you tell them I say,
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
tell them get out the way.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
Bullbud, they lend me a bullbud.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
Whap, 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 whap.
Go home and happy,
Take that.
stop disturbing our way.
All you call the ambulance now, call the ambulance.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
Nurse Meredith, come choke them again, choke them again.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
CCM massive, all you sing the chorus.
Go home and happy,
Sing.
stop disturbing our way.
Me done chat, and me not take it back, sir. Boom.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
I want to see them get knocked in every box in this country.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
This election is about Nevis, and if you're not with Nevis,
Go
then
home and happy,
you hear me?
disturbing our way.
Stay home. Whap, 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 whap.
Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way. Go home and happy, stop disturbing our way.
That's a serious message. If you're not supporting us, stay home. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to call to the podium now your area representative, both locally and federally, a man who have demonstrated that he has what it takes to be the representative for this area. A man who would have done many things for St. James's and will do for St. Thomas's once he get that fair share that we are fighting for. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome to the podium the Honorable Alexis Jeffers.
The Prince of Darkness walks behind me, but he will never, 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 never control me. Today I live a life of sorrow, working for the joys of a bright tomorrow. Carrying my cross, carrying my cross, carrying my cross. Wisdom, show me the right, guide me safely through the night. Wisdom, show me the light, take my hand and lead me through the fire. The iron hand that used to bend and shape me will always find you.
Thank you very much, DJ. Boy, let's get this right. Okay, good. Get the technician to set it up nicely. I want to be heard. Go ahead, if you feel so. Yeah. Okay, thank you, DJ. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night to the people of Fountain. I want to say how happy I am to be here in Fountain tonight. And the system sounds good. It's as good as it has always been. So I believe I'm being heard down in Ghana's, up in Spring Hill, up in Hog Valley, down in Mount Lily, down in Camps, I'm sure. And even over in Westbury. So good night to everyone who is under the sound of my voice. You know, it's so good to come and talk at a CCM meeting, you know. Because it almost seems like every night it gets a little bit better. But it's even better when we come into St. James. We were in Brooklyn and the crowd was good. It was electrifying. And we have come to Fountain. And it seems as though we have duplicated and even surpassed what we have done in Brick Hill. I was going to say that we should keep all the meeting in St. James. Because it seems like when we come St. James, here's where the action is at. Here's where the action is at, not only for the election, but it seems like in almost everything, St. James lead in this island. And I'm going to tell you what I normally tell them in cabinet, you know, I always say one of these days, St. James will secede from Nevis. Yeah, it might sound funny, but I always tell them that, but they tell me, stop making joke, and I'm really making joke with you. But the thing is, I am so proud of this great constituency of St. James. And I'm not forgetting St. Thomas's because, of course, I'm representing both St. Thomas and St. James in this upcoming federal elections. But since we're here in St. James, Lord, I got to big up St. James. Hometown. And I feel comfortable when I go to Butler's, Brick Hill, Camps, Barnaby, Libert Hill, Scarborough, even coming to Fountain, Mount Lily, and down into Newcastle. I feel like I'm home. So I'm home tonight. I want to thank all of the speakers before me for giving me such great endorsement. Because that's what we do on this platform, you know. We big up we own because we know we are good. We are the best. And that is why I want to thank everyone for the endorsement. So it's good to be here, and it's good to be here to bring the message to the people of Fountain. But ladies and gentlemen, we are in a federal elections. And of course you would have heard from other speakers that, well, a term is 5 years. But we are here after 2 short years. And it is not anything to be too concerned or too worried about. I'll tell you why. When you elected your CCM team in 2020, you told us to go to Bastia to represent the island of Nevis. And representing the island of Nevis means going to Bastia and standing up for the people of Nevis. If things aren't going our way, negotiate, and that is what we would have done. We negotiated, we agitated, we asked for meetings, we asked for everything. But nothing was forthcoming. So what must your representative do? Take knockbout? That's not Nivision like. That is not what we are as a people. And anybody in St. Kitts will think that the CCM is a party that will come to Bastille and be rolled over. It ain't gonna happen. We're not going down to fight anyone either. We are going down to suggest to them and to show them that we demand no respect in this federation. We are a whole citizen, not a half a citizen. So when we stand up in Bastille, we are standing up knowing that the whole of Nevis, whether they voted for us or not, are behind the CCM party. And that is why we can stand up so resolutely and stand up so firm in Bastille and demand our fair share.
Get up, stand up for your right.
So our message there has been and has always been fair share for the island of Nevis and for the people of Nevis. And if any party is contesting these elections or these elections and they cannot understand or refuse to join the bandwagon, well, they need not come to the people of Fountain. They need not come to the people of Nevis, because Nevisians must always be represented at every level, whether at the local level, federal level, regional level, or international level. And that is why I'm so proud of this great party, man. I am proud of the CCM party. Listen, if I was ever asked to join the NRP party, I believe way back then I had enough sense to say, not me, not I. I am so proud that I made the decision to come and join this great party. And I'm so proud to stand on this platform tonight to tell the people of Fountain, tell the people of Nevis, in Alexis Jeffers and the CCM party, you have the best party, the best representation, the best of everything that you can get as a people here in Fountain and in Nevis.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
So those who have said long before in the ballot is cast that they are not interested in representing you, they are not interested in representing the people of Nevis, well, the choice is easy. Forget about them. You don't have to waste your vote. We are coming and we are asking you, beseeching you, and we want your vote to go and represent you in Bastille. We're making it clear to you that the work that we are prepared to do, none other is prepared to do. Not from the NRP. I want to say to you, compare the three representatives from the CCM and the NRP. The leadership, the Honorable Mark Brantley, and the leadership from the NRP. One has been there for many years, representing, since 2007, I must say, representing the great constituency of Nevis 9 and the island of Nevis. Not only locally, regionally, and internationally. No comparison. The other one just wake up out of a slumber after 20 years of sleeping in this constituency. Well, I don't know him well, me not going to tell you who he be neither. When you compare Alexis Jeffers with, let's say, Pat Bartlett. Pat was well, she worked under me back in the day at the Ministry of Agriculture and Department of Agriculture. Well, I could tell you, well, don't even worry. I'm not even going to spend time on Pat, because Pat don't say no. He ain't going nowhere, go work nowhere. Just vote to him so he could get a salary and don't work for nobody. So that is an easy choice. I am saying I am prepared to work. Eric is running against a guy there who can get out of Barnes got back flip, front flip, forward flip, all kind of flip and end up in Gingerland. It is a gross embarrassment to the people of Gingerland for them to put someone from all the way behind in Barnesgot. And nobody in Barnesgot knock me, eh? I am not knocking the people of Barnesgot, but it must be an insult for the NRP to go all the way in Barnesgot to put somebody up there to run against Eric. So it's clear. But I'm not going to spend any time there. Let me talk a little bit about myself, you see? Because you hear them say, a lot of things about Alexis Jeffers in the constituency of St. James. I would tell you that I am, I believe, the fifth representative of this great constituency. You had the late Arthur Evelyn. You had the late Phineas Griffin. You had the Honorable Leonard Small, the Honorable Nurse Jane Harris, and of course Alexis Jeffers. And I'm going to stand here and say to you tonight that one of the best representatives that this constituency of St. James have ever seen is Alexis Jeffers. I'm going to blow me one trumpet. I'm going to blow me one trumpet. This is not a local election, but we're talking local politics tonight. And I want to say to you that up and down St. James, starting from all the way down in Cliff Dwellers, coming all the way up to the bottom of Zion, there have been work done over the years that have represented this constituency. You see that pier down there, the Wally Water Taxi Facility? One of the visionary, the best investment that this NIA has made in the island of Nevis. And you know something? The lady that I'm running against, every time she come past that pier or go on that pier, it seems as though it bothers her. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. But I'll say to you that that pier, when we thought about it, we said we want to ensure there's connection between the island of Nevis and the island of St. Kitts. And up to today, that pier continues to prove to us that it was one of the best investments. As a matter of fact, we all know that there was an application for a pier by the brother of the lady who I'm running against. What's her name, Janice? Her brother. We sat in cabinet and we said, if you look at what has happened with the sea bridge, since that investment was made by an individual, there has been only one car ferry that has operated between St. Kitts and Nevis. So that's a private entity. We said, as a government, we must invest in something where anybody who wants to get into the water taxi business must be able to ply their trade, must be able to start a business. So I asked the same lady to do an EIA for the government. She refused to do so. But knowing me, nothing can deter me, nothing can stop me. So I got a gentleman out of St. Kitts, God bless his soul. He was able to do that EIA. The pier was built, and since it had been built, every water taxi operator down there are Nevisians. They were born and raised here and operating businesses right out of here, right out of Nevis. That is how a forward-thinking government would think and operate. So that pier has been a major headache and a major problem for all those who didn't want it built. But I want to say I'm proud of that investment. The investment was just about $6 million. But I want to say to you, out of that $6 million, the property that was bought was just about $4.3 million. Expensive property, yes. But if you're building a water taxi facility, you can't build it up in the mountain like Bobbin Swanson said he was going to build a deep water up at Rollins. I remember that. No, but you have to build a pier on the waterfront, right on the ocean. So we bought that property. It was a major headache for the NRP, but the business was done. The entire transaction was done, and the pier was built. We have spent just about $5.6 million down there. They're going to ask for the rest money too, but it's there to repair the building. That will be done shortly. All of the necessary things have to be done through planning, and we'll get that done. So that investment, I will say to you, is proving to be one of the best in that area. And you know something? We are going to alleviate the water, not the water taxi, but the parking situation down there. We have negotiated with the Yarwoods, and I want to thank them. We are getting just over 9 acres of land for 1.9 million EC dollars. EC dollars, let's be clear. Those lands will be made available to us, the NIA, to provide additional parking down there. So we are thinking ahead. We are thinking ahead. And not because we don't talk every day as a government. You have elected us to work, and that is what we are doing. So I'm going to leave that investment. It's going to come to a completion at some point. But the phases that we wanted to complete have been completed. And it's doing what it should do. I want to move on because that is just one of many. Bear with me and spend some time with me. Because I want to let you know and let the people know that when you hear all the talk out there about, oh, CCM ain't doing nothing, rubbish. Let's move on. Come up to Newcastle Charles Road. Wonderful piece of road. Come to the Newcastle police station. You see that police station? One of the best in the region. One of the best in the Federation. One of the best in the OECS at least. I haven't been to too many police stations throughout the Caribbean. But I can tell you, when you travel the OECS, that is one of the best. And when we made that investment, we said, if we expect our men and women who perform for us and provide the safety and security for us, they must be able to sleep and live in a comfortable environment. As a matter of fact, before I was elected, I made the pledge to the police who were there that old broken down police station that was there, my task was to get that replaced and get something built. I see it there. Wonderful hotel, fire hall, police station. As a matter of fact, I said in Brooklyn that my next move is to ensure that we can get ambulance service down there at the Newcastle police station. There is space for that. And the reason why we have to be thinking this way is because time is of the essence. When persons take sick here in the north of the island, they must be able to get to the hospital in quick order, or short order. And as a matter of fact, you know, it takes about 25 minutes to come from Charlestown to the north of the island. And then another 25 minutes to go back. So if we can cut that in half, we can save lives. We can save lives. And the proposal...
Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum.
And the proposal is there, so we'll execute accordingly. When we talk from this platform, we talk about the future development of this island, what is best for Nevis, and that is why the CCM also is best for Nevis. There are people who say the best for Nevis, but the best to keep from. The best to keep from. But I want to move on because right down here, that sporting facility that continues to draw crowds of people from Charlestown, from Ginger and all over the island every single weekend to play cricket, for example. The thinking then and the vision was to bring sporting activities out of Charlestown to the rural areas and to ensure that we can develop our young men and young women in the sport of cricket, football, and other sporting activities. But you know, those of you who have memories, in 2006, that facility was started by the CCM. Those bad-minded NRP came in and they left it there abandoned until we came back into government. We came back into government and we finished that facility. Not only that, you see all the bright lights down there too. Well lit. Well lit. And that is what you do as a government. We went there and finished it, and now it is proving out to be one of the best sporting facilities in the island of Nevis.
Come in, change your ways. Don't let this moment pass you by and remain the same.
So, at some point, I want to put a name on it. You know, you are going to give me the name to put on it. We have to name it someday. But moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, roads have been done all up and down Nevis. But you know what is my pride and joy is housing. Housing in the island of Nevis, but more so in the constituency of St. James. And St. Thomas's too, but like I said, to the people of St. Thomas's, we are local tonight. We're in Fountain, we're in St. James. I'm going to come to some federal matters just now. But I want to say to you that we have done housing in Nisbet settlement. We have done housing right here in Fountain. You know, people who talk about nothing happening in Fountain, rubbish. We have done housing here in Fountain, roads here in Fountain, Hack Valley, up at Spring Hill. We have done water enhancement throughout camps and Fountain as well. But housing is one of my pride and joy. You know why? I love to know that we are providing housing to our young men and young women. I want every young man and young woman here in the in the island of Nevis to own a property of their own. They'll pay Cassandra just like you're paying. But I want every young man and young woman to own something here. I want them to own a piece of the rock. Why? Once they stay here, raise their family here, build cohesive communities here, Nevis will be the better for all that. We'll be a much better island. And we are trying to make Nevis much better than what it is. We're striving for excellence. So I can recall in 2016, we borrowed $25 million from the Social Security Board. And we were able to build in excess of 80 houses here throughout the island of Nevis. But more so, here in St. James, down in Nisbet Settlement, we were able to start a brand new housing development right up there in Madden's Cedar View Housing. We were there on Saturday, and everyone who came to canvas will marvel. They marveled at the ambience and the love of that area and the niceness and the breeze that comes off the Atlantic Ocean. Beautiful housing development. And you know, they say pass and christen the child first. I had to build the best in St. James. But no other constituency should be mad with me. Because when I approach the people of St. James, I say, vote for me, let me go and work for you. And I've gone to work. But that being said, Cedar View housing development continues to expand as well. We are going on to the third phase shortly. So another 36 young men and young women will be able to own homes up there. And I want them to continue to take care of their community, beautify it, make sure the roads are clean, make sure the sidewalk is clean, make sure you keep your children in a good environment so that they can grow up to be decent young men and young women. Housing will come to Fountain too. Housing will come to Fountain. And I'll make the commitment here tonight because we are seeking out lands here in Fountain to build houses as well. And we'll do that. But speaking of lands, I don't know how many persons in Fountain knows about the lands down here at Ghana's, right at the bottom of Fountain here. Well, it's called Ghana's, it's called Ghanaia's Estate, it's also called Lower Spring Hill, depending on what map you're looking at, depending on what document you're looking at. This administration, the Nevis Island administration, run by your CCM, is purchasing 36.16 acres of land right below here at Ghana's. You all know where the housing development is? See, what do you call it now? University Heights, yes. Right on the opposite side of University Heights. Beautiful lands that will be made available to people in Fountain, people in St. James, people from all up and down St. James and Nevis. We're selling to Nevisians because Nevisians must own a piece of the rock, must own or have a stake in this island. So we are purchasing those lands, they'll be made available. And I am proud of that negotiation, those negotiations that started back in 2020. And we had many different twists and turns before we got to where we want to be. But I am the Minister of Lands as well, so I am proud of my accomplishment in that regard as well. Because when you're negotiating for lands, it doesn't happen overnight. Persons come with a price, and they come with and we come with a counter. We come with a counter, they come with a price. So that is why it took some time. But those lands will be made available to the people of Fountain as soon as we make the announcement. I want the people of Fountain who want to get a piece of the rock, come on in and get a piece of it. But not only there, since I'm on lands, you know we normally have this Herbert Beach affair down at Herbert Beach. I want to say to the people of Fountain, the people of St. James, the people of Newcastle, all up and down this island, those lands, 13.9 acres of lands, now belong to the people of Nevis. So when you come down to jump up for Herbert Beach affair, when you come down to jump up to the bands and the music during Culturama, those lands are your lands, jump up on it. I was going to say walk up on it, you know. But Cassandra might get carried away. But I want... DJ, want to give you a tune, Cassandra. But listen, those lands are now the people's lands. And I want to say to you, in 2017, there was a certain lady, God bless her soul. She was buying up lands all up and down St. James and Nevis. She owned land all the way from Jessup, come across Hog Valley all the way up to the top here. Over 600 acres of lands up here. And she wanted to own down there as well. When I learned that those lands were to be bought by her and the memorandum of transfers were prepared, I said to my cabinet, listen guys, can't afford to let those lands go. The people of Nevis will be shut out, will be locked out, will be fenced out. And then Herbert Beach Affair is done. You cannot go down there to bathe. You cannot go down there to socialize. And as the representative of St. James, I couldn't allow that to happen. I couldn't allow it to happen. So we went through the legal process. We acquired those lands. And they are to be paid for, but the negotiations have been done. The acquisition has been done. We owe $2.4 million for those lands, and we'll get it paid. And that is why we are saying to the people of Fountain and Nevis, when we say we are asking for fair share, our fair share includes what we'll have to pay down there. But those are lands that belong to the people of Nevis, and I'm so proud of that. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, I said we have done roads. Right now we're up in Butlers, giving Butlers some nice roads up there. Fountain, I will say to you, your roads are going to come. We cannot do 10 projects at the same time, our road projects at the same time, one at a time. It all has to do with finance and financing. And we are making the commitment to the people of Fountain, your roads are going to come no matter who talk about road every day. I don't talk about road every day because I understand no matter how many roads you do in this island, you'll always find more roads to do. So people in Gingerland want road. People all up and down Nevis want road. Fountain need a road, and Fountain, your road will be fixed. That has been our priority, and it will remain our priority because we have done the homework in terms of the costing, and we'll get it done. But ladies and gentlemen, I can go on about other accomplishments, but I just wanted to touch on a few. Because I know when I stand up to represent and when I stand up to talk, I know what I'm talking about. Because I know what I've done. And I know why the people continue to vote for me in overwhelming numbers. Election after election, after election, after election, after election. How many is that? 5? Because I ran in 2010, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017, 2020. 6 elections, and every time, whether federal or local, the numbers keep growing and growing and growing. Because the people of St. James, are proud of their representative. Well, I want to say to the people of Fountain and St. James, in 2020 we had a federal election. And for the first time in the history of this great party, we were able to win Nevis 11. Many didn't give us a chance. But I knew based on the results of 2010, based on the results of 2015, I knew that come 2020 the job would be done. We lost an election in 2010, federal election, that is by 268 votes. Came back in 2015 and lost by, I believe it was 91 votes. So when you look at that movement, you understand, and you understood then that you can overcome, or we can overcome. And we did overcome in 2020. And I want to thank the people of St. James, the people of Nevis 11, for voting overwhelmingly, because we won those elections by 197 votes. 197 votes. I call it a landslide. Well, here's what. We got to do it again. But this time I'm not looking for 197, you know. I want to double that. I want to double it, and here's why. The message has to be sent to all those who think that Nevis 11 is available for sale. Nevis 11 is up for grabs. Nevis 11 is there for the taking. I want to say to them, nothing all go so. Nothing all go so. Here's why. In a short 2 years at the federal level, I have proven to the people of Nevis, the people of St. Kitts, the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, that in Alexis Jeffers I can represent at the federal level. I was the Minister of Agriculture. When I got to St. Kitts, Lord, agriculture was dead. Bedford was dead. Fars was dead. And I went down and resurrect them. And I don't care who in St. Kitts hear me and think otherwise. They were dead. And we went and resurrect them. You know why we resurrected them? We have always talked about food security and sustainability in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And it must not be buzzwords being used, but it must be by our action that we bring about these two feats. Food security and sustainability. So that is why we went to Bedford and resurrected it. We went down to Foyes and we offered lease down there to persons. But I don't want to spend too much time on St. Kitts because in Nevis we have done quite a bit as well in agriculture in order to bring about food sustainability. Down in Indian Castle, you understand what we're doing down there. You have seen the pictures. 35 acres we have transformed. We have abandoned cotton. Lord, I could eat cotton, no? Imagine that was a signature crop of the NRP. Cotton. Imagine that. Well, we've gone down there and we've planted coconut trees. Over 4,500 coconut trees. We have planted banana trees, over 3,000. We have planted lime. We have planted sorrel. We have planted soursop. We have planted apples. We have planted cassava. We have planted passion fruit. Name it all. Mangoes. We have planted almost 12 different crops down there on that 35 acres. And that is meant to bring about that level of production so that we can stop importing even some jelly water. Imagine we got to import jelly water into Nevis. You should be able to go down there one morning, pick some jelly, cut it out and get a fresh glass of jelly water. Not jelly that come from somewhere on a boat, spending 3 weeks on a boat to get here. So that is why we have said as a government that we'll invest in agriculture, invest in our young men and young women who want to get into smart agriculture as well. There have been a number of greenhouses, almost 20 greenhouses that have been constructed here in Nevis since I've been the Minister of Agriculture. When we came to government, we met a half of a structure. Eric can tell you about it. Eric was the permanent Secretary of Agriculture then. We met a half of a greenhouse. So we have since added an additional 20. So we must be applauded for that. And as a matter of fact, we have said that we'll double that over the next 5 years and beyond. But how can we double that? We can do so with the right investment and the money. And that is why we have come to you. And we have said that with all the money that is flowing into Bastia out of the CBI program, Nevis deserves its fair share. I've said to you, there's no way that St. Kitts can sell passport that marks St. Kitts and Nevis and keep all the money over there. Because they cannot sell a passport that marks St. Kitts alone and get it sold anywhere in this world.
Equal right.
By the same token, Nevis can't take up a passport and sell it, mark Nevis alone. So once it's marked St. Kitts and Nevis, we must be able to derive our fair share out of this procedure of those sales. And so last year you have heard the numbers. Just last year, $588 million was generated from the sale of our passport. How much came to Nevis? $45 million. $45 million. I want the people to wrap their head around that here in Fountain, you know. And that is why I said anybody who come to you and don't talk fair share and join with the CCM to champion the cause of Nevisians in St. Kitts, they must be rejected. They must be rejected because there must be something wrong when you collect $588 million and Nevis can only see 45 million out of that. So we are saying at least $147 million was left in Bastia that belongs to the people of Nevis. So how is it? How is it when good come? When good come, good stay one place. When bad come, all of us have to suffer the consequences. You remember the story with Bragadam and Mogadam in Canada? That's why we can't go to Canada as we used to. We have to get a visa now because that episode in England, in Canada, would have created difficulties for all of us. Not only Kittitians, but Nevisians as well. We used to get on a plane and fly to Canada, visa free. Walk into the borders, put our passport down, proud of our passport, and get access to Canada. Now we have to go to Trinidad or send our passport to Trinidad to get a visa. That can't be right. But yet still when the money is flowing to Bastia, we are told we can't get our equal share. And all we are looking for is our 25%. What is so hard in that? What is so wrong to ask for that? What is so wrong to demand it? As a matter of fact, I will say to you, if we had good leadership in Bastia, we wouldn't have been here on this platform tonight. We wouldn't have been here because a good leader would understand that he manages the affairs of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And when he manages the affairs of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, every St. Kitts, every Kittitian and Nevisian must be treated equally. And whatever is for Nevis comes to Nevis. Whatever is for St. Kitts stays in St. Kitts. We're not asking for the taxes of St. Kitts to be sent to Nevis. When a passport is sold, you're talking about cash. Cash money, not taxation. It is revenue derived from the sale of an asset that belongs to the Federation. Cash, broad cash. However you want to put it, broad cash. Raw cash. And that's all we're asking for is our money. So we have found a partner who is willing to work with us as a party. And we are happy to work in real unity with the People's Action Movement. And you know, this federation can succeed, you know. It can succeed if the leadership is right. If the leadership thinks federation. If the leadership not only think about keeping whatever money is in basket, they say we can't send it Nevis because it's $1 less for St. Kitts. What shopping is that? What foolishness is that? They say every dollar sent to Nevis is $1 left for St. Kitts. What rubbish is that? That is not how you think as a leader. So what do you mean? A leader is for St. Kitts only, so St. Kitts must succeed and Nevis must suffer. Not like that.
Bye bye, bye bye.
We went to St. Kitts as 3 representatives. The Honorable Mark Brantley, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, and myself. We went down there and we understood that we are federal ministers, and we went and we walked accordingly. Mark Brantley, bar none, is the best Minister of Foreign Affairs you've ever seen in this federation. So when Mark Brantley goes out and push our passport to make it #1 in the region and rated highly throughout the globe. So what do you mean, you walk for free? You mean you walk to what, build up St. Kitts only? No, he has gone to represent St. Kitts and Nevis. And the passport has such gold standard, as they put it, because of Mark Brantley. So why can't we get our fair share out of his efforts? Eric Evelyn went down as the Minister of Environment, represented the Federation locally, regionally, and internationally. Went to Glasgow. It's not a title, it's not a surname. Glasgow in Scotland, for those who don't know the geography. And he went there for, 5 weeks? Spent a long time representing. So you mean Eric went and represent the Federation, St. Kitts and Nevis. So when good come to the Federation, shouldn't we get our share? That's all we're asking for. And then when we purchase greenhouses, we have exploits in agriculture. I have ensured that we get our fair share in that regard. Because we would have purchased 10 greenhouses from the federal government. I made sure 5 came to Nevis. 5 went to St. Kitts. Ain't that equal share? 5 in St. Kitts, 5 in Nevis. Nothing wrong with that because we have many greenhouse farmers in Nevis who are really pressing on in that technology, and I want to commend them. So ladies and gentlemen, our message from this platform is very clear, very simple, and easy to understand, as my good friend has said. Nothing complicated. So all the other issues that they come and they give you like a pelao, a mix up. Forget about that. You know, a pelao, you're trying all kind of things. You're trying peas, you're trying rice, you're trying, what you're trying, saltfish, you're trying chicken wing, you're trying everything. Everything. A mix up. That's what the NRP is coming with. Our message is clear, and here's what it is. We have said that any monies that are derived from the sale of a Sinkis Nevis passport, Nevis must get their fair share. Simple.
Equal rights, justice.
And it almost seems like some people are pretending that they don't understand the issue, you know. They will understand, yes. But because they're playing like they don't understand, we will continue to repeat it. Because effective communication comes through repeating something. But the people of Nevis who are in tune with the politics understand what this is all about. That is why I believe come election day, in resounding numbers, Nevis 9, Nevis 10, and in Nevis 11 will go to the polls and vote for the CCM.
We sticking with we CCM party to fight for Queen City.
And I want to say to the people of Nevis, I know many persons will say that they don't vote for federal elections. I want to say to you, that may have been in the past, but presently we have a huge issue before us. Nevis is at the crossroads now. We're trying to move forward. And moving forward means that you must be willing to go out to vote this time, to vote for your CCM party in overwhelming numbers so that we have a united voice in Boston. Gone are the days. Gone are the days when you had 2 CCM and 1 NRP. You go down there, people laughing at Nevis. Because you know the NRP representative was down there saying, Nevis don't want nothing. He said, when I walk the streets of Bastille, I see what money do in St. Kitts. But when I walk the streets of Charleston, I don't think Nevis want anything, he said. But they were so glad to hear that down there. Eh? That's why they never sent anything under the previous Labour Party when Patrice Nisbet was there. Because he wasn't fighting for nobody in Nevis. Not one soul. The NRP has never fought for Nevis in St. Kitts as the CCM has done. As a matter of fact, I'll say to you, every time a party in St. Kitts want an issue that is negative and against the island of Nevis, and they want it pushed in Nevis, they push it in the hands of NRP.
Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum. Increase the momentum.
That is why we said to you that Timothy Harris gave NRP a script to run around Nevis with. Hear them, where the 400 billion gone? Oh, Mark Brantley this. Oh, whatever Timothy say, NRP take it and run with it. And I tell you plain, they don't have nothing to campaign against CCM with, you know. They don't have a thing to campaign. That is why they go down on the beach and take some picture of some old building down there. They come up here and take a picture of the road. They go down to the beach and rubbish. Rubbish. This is serious times, or these are serious times. This is a serious party, and we're talking serious issues, and we mean serious business when it comes to these elections.
Many rise, many drop, but we solid as a rock.
DJ Quick Fingers, I call him. The DJ is good. DJ is good. So these are serious elections, and that is why I say, come election day, whether you want to go to vote or not, I am encouraging you, I'm begging you, I'm beseeching you, I'm asking you to go to vote, but don't go alone as well. Take up your family and go. Call your friends and take them with you. Tell them, let's go, let's go. Listen, on the ballot, you're going to see CCM and the hammer. I don't care about a soul else. But when you make that X, just imagine you see Nevis. Just imagine you see Nevis right there by the hammer. You're voting for Nevis. You're voting for the island of Nevis and the future of Nevis. You're voting to put serious representation in Bastille. And you're voting for the betterment of your children. And even your children yet unborn. These are serious times. And you know, we come here with a lot of hype sometimes. But listen, it's all a part of the campaigning. But when it's all said and done, that X that you're going to cast come the 5th of August is one of the most serious X you're going to make. One of the most serious X you're going to make. And I am saying to you, Do not take this election lightly. And they're going to come with all kind of things, like I said. Well, as a matter of fact, let me say to you, a one-party campaign right now. One party. I don't even know where they are right now, but the NRP seem like they're gone dead. They're gone quiet. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and do what we have to do as a party. Ladies and gentlemen, I just talk long and I'm going a bit longer. I'm not going any longer. But you're not going to talk for 2 hours if you allow me to. Enough is enough. All I'm going to say to you in parting, that we have made the case to you and we'll continue to make the case up until August 5th. And the case is very clear. Go out and vote for your CCM party. Mark Bentley in Nevis 9. Eric Evelyn in Nevis 10. And of course, right here in Nevis 11, St. Thomas and St. James, you're voting for Alexis Jeffers. You're voting for leadership that you can trust. Leadership that has proven that is the best thing for the island of Nevis. Leadership that you want to guide you into the future. That is leadership in the CCM party. I want to thank you for listening. May God continue to bless this great party of ours. And may continue to bless this blessed island of ours. We love this island. Let's vote for this island and the betterment of this island. Thank you very much for listening. Fountain, thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Fountain, that was your representative. The only representative you have in this election, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Folks, just as a reminder that tomorrow night we have no meetings. Tomorrow night the 3 candidates will be on the mark. So make sure you tune in and listen to what the candidates have to say. On Thursday night is the opening of Culturama, so we would have no meeting on Thursday. But on Friday, we go to Brown Hill. From 7 o'clock on Friday, we are in Brown Hill. So please remember that. And I want to thank all of you for coming out this evening. You're looking lovely. You can see the campaign has started. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure now to present to you our party leader, a strong and decisive leader, a man who has stood up strong and solid for the island and people of Nevis, a man who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the podium the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening to the people of Fountain. Good evening to the people of Westbury. Wherever you are and you're hearing our voice, good evening. This is the voice of the concerned citizens movement. And we are, as always, pleased and privileged to be in the great village of Fountain. We understand that this election has been set for the 5th of August. And you know, just today we had a meeting, an executive meeting of the party, and we reflected that Timothy Harris decided
that he would collapse the government on the 10th of May. He dissolved the parliament because he did not wish to face the motion of no confidence. And he therefore would have had, under our constitution, 90 days from the 10th of May to fix an election date. It therefore means that he had nearly all of May, nearly all of June, nearly all of July, and he has decided to fix the date for the 5th of August. Now, I have kept telling the people of Nevis and the people of Fountain that when Alexis Jeffers, Eric Evelyn, and myself determined that there was no good in Timothy Harris, we decided that we could not continue with him. And I continue to say to our people that the evidence is clear. As I listened this evening, I heard a reference to the speeches that he has made, when the true essence of the man who used to come to Nevis to say that his father is from Cotton Ground. I am here tonight to say he has to be a wrong child. Because nobody with Nevisian blood in their veins could hate Nevis so much. So he is on record publicly saying that every dollar that he sends to Nevis is $1 less for Sinkits.
Tell them wicked people, fire go Monday, fire go Monday.
Imagine a prime minister of a Twin Island nation saying that every dollar that one element, one constituent element of that nation gets is $1 less. It tells me that as far as he's concerned, he's the prime minister of St. Kitts. He then went on to say publicly that the only thing that Nevisians want from St. Kitts is their money. And I want to know, and I ask Fountain the question tonight, where St. Kitts get money from? The money that they're spending down there, the money that he's spending like a drunken sailor, is our passport money. And I say our because I checked my passport before I left home just to make sure. And it says St. Kitts and Nevis. But I go back to where I started. That he had, in his own wisdom, collapsed the government on May 10th. And he had 90 days from then to have an election. But he decided he's going to have the election in the middle of Nevis Culturama. You all think that he did not know that Nevis is having Culturama? Well, why he didn't have the election in the middle of Music Fest? This is what I keep saying to Nevisians. And when I see that the Nevis Reformation Party is hugging up with Timothy, I said them can't love Nevis either.
You're no soup, you're no star. You're pushing it not too far.
We all know how CCM campaigns. We all know when the big blue machine rolls out, what we do, how we do. We know we're accustomed to blow up the place. And here we are, having to decide what nights we could have meeting because we don't want to interrupt Culturama. Now, if those in St. Kitts had any regard, any respect for the people of Nevis, they would never, and let me not say they, he would never have scheduled an election in the heart of Culturama. But he did so because, like every other decision that he has made, he has no interest in the people of Nevis.
We're gonna chase those crazy ballers out of town.
And that is why I am clear in my own mind
That is why I can stand shoulder to shoulder with the Honorable Eric Evelyn and the Honorable Alexis Jeffers and say with one voice that come the 5th of August, one thing I am certain of, there will be no more Timothy Harris in the office of the Prime Minister.
Bye, 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 bye.
CCM, Nevis, I am here saying to you that this is our time. This is our time to go to Bastille understanding that there's no equivocation. There is no doubt about who we are and what we are standing for. We are going to sink it solid as a rock. CCM people, solid as a rock. Representing the people of Nevis. And I'm here to say that that is why I'm so proud of Alexis Jeffers, so proud of Eric Evelyn. Because when they go to Bastille, they understand you can't forward with us. And you can't forward with Nevis. So when I hear the NRP up and down saying that they want your vote, but if you elect them, they don't want any portfolio. It tells me that they're not yet ready for prime time. They're not yet ready for representation because they want to go sink it to collect the same money they used to cuss us about, but they don't want the work. They say sign them up for the money, but not for the work. And I am saying that is the difference with the CCM. We're not only going back to Bastille after August 5th, we're going back to ministerial positions, we're going back to government, we're going back to do the work that we left that needs to be finished. And most importantly, we are going back to ensure that the people of Nevis get what belongs to them. You know, one of the things that bothers me, Fountain, is that we are simply saying to the Nevisian people, to the Kittitian people, to our citizens, our brothers and sisters, those at home and those abroad, that the people of Nevis are no less than anybody else. We are simply saying that we deserve, we demand, and we will get our fair share. And I like the point that Alexis Jeffers made. Alexis said, we not ask them for none of Sinkers tax money. We're not interested in VAT and all of that is earned in Sinkits. We have said to Sinkers, you keep yours, Nevis can keep its own. What we are saying is that where we have this non-tax revenue, billions of dollars rolling into our country from the negotiation of our passport, then the people of Nevis must get what belongs to them. From 2008, prior to unity, and then thereafter 2015 to 2021, this country collected $5.3 billion in citizenship money. And of that, Nevis got 400 million, representing a mere 7%. So we get 7%, Sinkits keep 93%. And then this man who claim his father's from Cotton Young have the heart to say to Nevis people, I know you used to get nothing. I should be satisfied. Why you make noise for? That is what he's saying to us. And that is why I have such a difficulty with those in Nevis who are supporting that nonsense. I don't care whether you normally support CCM, NRP, or nobody at all. This is a Nevis issue.
Get up, stand up for your right.
And nobody, so long as I have breath, so long as CCM is here and standing strong. Nobody is going to disrespect the people of Nevis, and we put up with it.
Better days are coming, change your ways.
Those days are over. Those days are over. Nobody gonna watch me and tell me go ride in the back on a bus. Those days done. And I want the youngsters in Fountain to listen to me. Because in every aspect of this St. Kitts Nevis relationship, the people of Nevis have been shortchanged. Some youngsters are on this peace program. I talk about it because we voted for that program. And I, as Premier of Nevis, have committed that after this election, we will have our own version of that program in Nevis. It will be a program by Nevisians, for Nevisians, because nobody could stay in Bastille and run no program in Nevis better than Nevisians can. But I said to the youngsters here, those who are listening to me, those who are viewing online, that even in the peace program, there is that unfairness that we are complaining about. Because these youngsters who are on that program in Nevis, I saw the numbers, it's about a month ago now. 1,225 people on the program. I know how much in Nevis? 71. 71 out of 1,225. In Nevis, they say no women are allowed on the program. Sink has got granny and all on the program. In Nevis, they said that if the youngsters were getting a little pay from the peace program and a little pay from the STEP program, that had to stop. They had to choose one or the other. But guess what? The fellas in Sinkits get in peace, they get in STEP, and some of them get in pop too. So the youngsters in Nevis were told, you must choose. But in Sinkits, them not get one pay. Them not get two pay. Them not get three pay. And them say that is fair. Now I understand they're running around, sending agents to Nevis, telling the youngsters they're going to put on how many of them on this program and how many of them on that program, and they must vote for NRP because we will end the program. I am saying to the youngsters here in Fountain, I'm saying to the young people that are listening, don't study with them. If they had any regard for you, they would have ensured that the program was run in an open and transparent way. They would have ensured that you were treated fairly. The monies that were put at Development Bank to provide loans for young people, how many Nevis have been able to access those loans? Unless you feel that we are only here to talk about those social intervention programs, we have committed to those young people wanting to go off to University of the West Indies that we will stand 100% behind them and ensure that their economic cost is paid in full. That economic cost was removed for some students by the federal government, and we have to fix that. We have said to our young people who want training and wish to go away to study and want to borrow from the Development Bank, that Development Bank money is government money. And it is unconscionable that some people are still paying as high as 11% on a student loan. And we have said that no student loan at Development Bank will be more than 5%. None. And for those students who already have a student loan, fixed at 11 and 9 and those crazy types of percent, it will be reduced to 5%. We are standing with our people. That is why you see me, I could stand here proud in Fountain and say that I would never spend money on a jail before I build a school. I will never spend money on a jail before I build a hospital. And I will never spend money on a jail when I could use that money to create jobs in our local economy. Because as sure as night follows day, as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow, when they build a jail, they must find jailbird to go in there. Me not go in there, I don't care what you say. So who they plan to put in that jail? Who they plan to put in the Harris family jail? That is a question we must ask. Because as I have said over and over, in my own research, the highest percentage of incarcerated people in the world fit into a certain category. They're black, they're brown, or they're poor. They're black, they're brown, or they're poor. And so you must ask yourself if the priority of this man in St. Kitts is to build a prison, a jail, rather than schools, rather than healthcare, rather than jobs for our people, training for our people, it tells me that he has failed and cannot be returned as Prime Minister of this country.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Imagine that when we had the budget of 2021, a budget that I voted for, Zook voted for it, Eric voted for it, and in that budget, it had a new prison at a cost of 88 million EC dollars. That's a lot of money. But that was the cost in the budget. Imagine somehow they have allocated 5,500 shares in the citizenship program. By law, one share must be sold at US $175,000. When you multiply 5,500 times 175,000 US, you get a total in EC dollars of something around 2.5 billion EC dollars. And so you ask yourself the question, how did a jail budgeted in December of 2021 for 88 million? By June of 2022, the same jail is costing 2.5 billion. Don't mean no fountain people not stupid. Fountain people not stupid. Westbury, Mount Lily, nobody in St. James is foolish. And so we must ask the question, where is that money going to go? And to whom? Because I guarantee you, it is not to the people of Fountain. And so these are the difficult questions that some don't want to answer or continue. Though I do not propose to spend too long up here in Fountain because the breeze up here cold. But I want to say to you that you have a man who has represented this constituency at the federal level. And it has been the best representation that this constituency has ever had. And that man is the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. When COVID hit and we started to talk about responses to COVID, we came up in the cabinet after many days of meetings and organizing what we're going to do. Hotels closed, airport closed, no tourists, people being sent home. What are we going to do? I remember the conversation well. Somebody asked the question, what would happen if the port of Miami closed and the containers couldn't come? And we said, well, if that happened, means we can't get food in Nevis. Because we had become dependent on food imported from the United States via the Port of Miami. And we charged Alexis Jeffers with leading the effort to revive food production on this island and to take us closer to a place of food security on Nevis. And we used the money that we had available to us, and we put nearly all of it into agriculture. Farmers got free seed, free seedlings, free fencing wire, free land preparation, free fertilizer, free water. And then through Alexis Jeffers, 5 farmers benefited from free shade houses. We invested in Indian Castle. And all of you from Fountain who are listening, if you have not yet been down to Indian Castle to see that 35-acre farm down there, you have to go. You have to go. Alexis spoke about it. Imagine Nevis buying jelly to get jelly water from St. Vincent. No! We said we must be able to produce this here. We remember a time when all the pennies was full with coconut tree. Remember a time when all the mountains here were filled with coconut trees. And we said we have to deal with it and deal with it in a sensible way. And Alexis was the man who was in charge of that. Go down there now, over 4,500 coconut trees. And we intend to plant more. When you need the job done, ladies and gentlemen, we know that you give Alexis Jeffers the job and he will get it done. So, I hear a lot of noise. I'm not concerned with the noise. You all know I have the slogan, ignore the noise. Sometimes you have to ignore the noise because I see NRP bring a Johnny come lately, asking Fountain people who never see this woman yet in their life to vote for her over Alexis, who has a track record of performance.
Nobody want to plant the corn. Everybody want to read the band.
You're right. Alexis has planted the corn. And now some of them want to come raid the barn. Because they don't want the work. They want to reap the benefits of that work. Look at what Alexis has done in housing. For the first time in the history of this island, we have housing happening at Ghana's, Madden's, Rice's, up there in Government Road. I'm sorry, Craddock Road, forgive me. Let me start again. Ghana's, Madden's, Rice's, Craddock Road, Hamilton, Cherry Garden, Nis, how about that? Happening at the same time. Never before in the history of Nevis under Alexis Jeffers. I had some Kittitian friends who visited recently and they went over Madden's and the chap sent me a video. And to hear the comments, they said, boy, we never see house look so. This is Nevis. They can't believe them in Nevis. I am saying to you that the quality of housing that we are building under Alexis Jeffers is second to none.
I say me 10 stepper ahead of them.
That is the performance and the track record you must look to. Not on the other side where you have somebody who I have called Rip Van Winkle. You all know the story of Rip Van Winkle? Rip Van Winkle fell asleep for 20 years. And when Rip Van Winkle wake up, Rip Van Winkle asking people, what happened? What happened? And when you hear them asking and saying, there is nothing happening in Nevis, don't be vexed with them. They genuinely do not see what is happening in Nevis because they've been fast asleep for 20 years.
Bye, 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 bye.
So I'm not vexed with them. And now some interesting questions are being asked. People have said, you came back 20 years ago. What did you run from? They don't want to hear that. They jump on Spencer Brand. The last time I see Spencer, Spencer was leading the choir at the Anglican church. Mr. Spencer can't even sing and he's choir leader. Leading the choir at the Anglican church. And they jump on Spencer. Vexed with Spencer because Spencer bought a piece of land in 2008. Are you hear me properly? Listen me carefully. Spencer Brand did what every person in Fountain is entitled to do. Every person in Nevis is entitled to do. He invested in Nevis. The man go and borrow money with his wife, the beautiful Sheila. They buy a piece of land. Not from government, private lands. And the man decided that he wants to develop his land. Well, he's an architect. He has an architectural firm. He said he wants to do a hotel. And just like anybody else, he says he wants to do it through citizenship by investment. In 2014, under the leadership of the late great Vance Emery, Spencer got his approval from Nevis. 2015, he got his approval from the same Timothy Harrison Sinkits. Spencer was not elected to the NIA until December 2017. And I am here as the Premier of Nevis to say that since he has been a member of our cabinet, no application has come before us in relation to Spencer Brand. But just as Alexis said tonight, when you see that your paymaster is in Sinkits, when they throw out something, you have to run with it because that is what you have to do for your pay. You remember there's one of them, what I call a sacrificial lamb, who they sent up to Gingerland to run against Eric. You remember what he said? Nevis's economic philosophy is Timothy Harris. Even the, Lord, I nearly said Joker, forgive me. Even the boy, Stephen Simonos, ball out, I don't agree. I don't agree. And the boy said, yes, Nevis's economic philosophy is Timothy Harris. If it was not for the goodness of Timothy Harris, and I say, boy, when you can't pay your rent, you will say anything. You will say anything? Because I can't believe that a Nevisian will ever allow those kinds of words to come from his or her lips. And that is the reality of what we're seeing. So the taskmaster and the paymaster in Sinkits jump up and say Spencer Brand has a CBI project. That's all he's saying now. And with that, I see our kind of article. I see the leader of NRP. They just come, Rip Van Winkle, write some long letter calling for investigation from the Integrity Commission. I say, well, if she had bothered to read and inform herself, if she was truly awake from that 20-year slumber, she would have recognized that the Integrity Commission has no jurisdiction over matters such as that. And so they wrote back and say, I beg you go sit down. Then they're not satisfied with that. They start to say that Spencer must resign because they somehow feel that that is the way they're going to get into government. They don't want to go win seat and go campaign and talk to people about their ideas. So Spencer must resign. And then I hope, and I'm going to tell her the truth, I know they're going to tape this and play it. But Spencer, you're my brother and I love you. But when you start to get some licks, I say, well, at least they ease up off of me. But after they figure they don't punk Spencer, them send me in the project too. And I had to go and tell Spencer, Spencer, if NRP says so, I want whatever belongs to me. Because all of a sudden, the same leader of NRP, I hear she now saying, it's a Brantley brand secret deal. And I said to myself, mine. All nigga say, I'm sure all nigga write up your fountain say no trouble. Because if you trouble gonna trouble you. So when he start to call me name and Spencer the choir master name, me call a friend in VI, I say, well, why the woman come back in Nevis? And all of a sudden, people start to run for cover. Because it was disclosed that in the department that she headed in the U.S. Virgin Islands, in her own words, multiple mean more than one. And based on my research, more than two. In fact, the multiple mean a lot of people working with her in the coastal zone management ended up in jail. And she said while she was in Nevis, but still the head of the department, there was an investigation, and here she had tried nice it up, white collar crime. What that mean? You see up here in Fountain, you would say them thief. That is what you would say. But when you try nice it up, you say white collar crime. So she was in Nevis when the investigation was going on. And people in her team were convicted, according to her, multiple people. Corruption.
Action with him, a pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold.
Me never said nothing about pretty face. DJ, me never go so far. All I'm saying is that you come now and you start to make corruption and leveling accusations against decent people. When you have not come to the people of Nevis and said to them what happened in St. Thomas and St. Croix, what happened in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I started digging, and then me trunk deep, And when I started dig, and I said, well, this is very strange. Because if all these people work with me gone jail and I was in charge, well, how come me now know what's going on? How come I deaf, dumb, and blind? How come I have never come to the people of Nevis and said to them, this is what happened? And then to rub salt in Nevis, people swore. The woman bring a man named Governor De Young. And De Young come to say, I have endorsed Janice because Janice is a decent. But the same De Young was arrested. De Young was charged. You know what he was charged with? Embezzlement. That's a big word for thieving.
You don't trust people. They say you can't trust people.
Hear me? De Young was charged with embezzlement in the same U.S. Virgin Islands. And the only reason that he was not prosecuted, he agreed in a plea deal to pay back $380,000 US dollars. So you mean to tell me that a good Christian society like Nevis, you're going to bring the devil to endorse you? Huh? So when you're pointing to the young as your savior, to set the visions, well, listen to the governor, because the governor says that I am all right. But the governor himself was arrested and charged. They don't want us to talk about these things because they're saying, you know what I find is so offensive? They will write letters about Spencer. They will say me and Spencer got some secret deal. All because Spencer invested in Nevis. But they have these things that are happening. No explanation. And when you ask a question, they got some Mickey Mouse out there say, oh, that is not fair. That is a smear campaign. Smear? What you call so? What name smear? If you ask a question and somebody comes to you and Fountain, I'm asking you, when they come and knock on your door and tell you, vote for them, I want to ask, could you tell us what happened at the coastal zone management in the USVI? And could you tell us the real reason why you kill the cat back in Nevis? Because you say that you are the height of your career and you left a lucrative position, Lord. Them are some big word. All it means she was making a lot of money. So you there, St. Thomas, or wherever you there. Got your whole life down there, husband, kids, house, job, lucrative career, and you leave all of that and Kenny Cat come and Nevis, go sit down. Nothing goes so.
Bye, bye, bye. Oh, God.
Not a thing goes so. I say, me not get into that. It look like some people in CCM want me go jail. You know that me? You will not put me in that Harris family jail. I'm not going. I am saying, let us stick with the facts and let us ask the questions, because it seems to me that they feel that Nivision should not be told a story. I want to tune into On the Mark tomorrow now. Oh, the place mash up. You got a song there? Oh Lord, the whole place mash up, the whole place done. I'm going to sing to you now. Oh Lord, because we have to look at these issues, you know. Because all of a sudden, they're trouble in them, they start the ball. And saying, oh, and then the worst thing I could hear, man, let me tell you something, you know. Maybe they get vexed with me for saying this. But they have introduced some women into Nevis politics. I welcome women into the political arena. I was raised by a mother of blessed memory. And I believe she did a good job with me. My mistakes are mine. She tried her best with me. But they introduced these women and they all have this fallback position, as if to say that because they're women, they must get a free pass. They are, well, Lord, you take the word out of my mouth. They're attacking other women religiously. You all remember when Latoya Jones was appointed a special advisor? A young woman from Barnes got, well, oh my goodness gracious. They had most and many things to say. So when they called Miss Jones, I said, Miss Jones, are you or are you not a woman? She said she thinks she's a woman. I said, well, okay. Then my good cousin Nana, they drag her from pillar to post. I had to call Nana and say, Nana, have you had a sex change? Nana said, no, I'm still a woman. Any woman who does not agree with NRP, they drag you. Then they turn around and talk about women and women empowerment. They mean empowerment for them. And then now, when they start their scandalous attacks on decent people, and you respond and say, well, let us have a look at you. Let us turn the spotlight now on you. They say, oh, that is not fair. You have done in a smear campaign. Let me tell you something. Politics ain't Sunday school, you know. And if you're going to come into politics, make sure your house is in order. And if you know your house is not in order, do not attack decent people. By DJ's time like this, I wish I could dance. You must not attack people when you know that there are questions, lingering questions. Last night, they said she gone on radio, go make a dress. I don't like listen, so I ask people to listen for me. And I had two people report to me that, again, she did not address what happened in the Virgin Islands. Now, my point is simple. If you were not involved, there was no charges against you and all of that, fine. You come out and you say, well, I was head of the unit from this to that. These people in the unit went to prison for doing that and that. I did not know. Or when I found out, I reported it right away to the police. This is what I did. But instead of that, your kitty cat come Nevis on the first flight. And then want people to say, don't ask you about it. We must ask. You know, I said to somebody, Lord of mercy, if one person had ever gone jail under Mark Brantley, oh Lord of mercy, they would have taken off my clothes. They would have been shot in Charlestown. That is the double standard that they've created in the country. So it's okay to make up and allege that Spencer and Mark and all of us are involved in wrongdoing. But when you have actual wrongdoing and you ask, what did you know? When did you know it? What did you do? Because you see, it goes to the question of leadership. If you are presiding over a quagmire, quicksand of wickedness, they must ask you, what did you know? When did you know? What did you do to correct the wickedness? You can't just say, well, I wasn't wicked. That's how it works, you know. Leadership comes with responsibility. Leadership comes with responsibility. A lot of people want the title, but they don't want the responsibility. Now, if you're working at Four Seasons and you're a manager down here, and all kind of people in your department, thieving left, right, and center, where you think the management are going to ask you, well, Punsi, how all of this happened under you? Well, Punsi, you never noticed that the sheet and towel them going missing? Well, Punsi, how much coke was in the fridge and how much coke in the fridge now? Well, Punsi, no, you can't manage this department anymore. So they must say, me ain't do nothing. That ain't how leadership works, you know. That is not how leadership works. That is why, and I don't know what the problem is with NRP. You know, NRP seems to have a problem. The previous leader was in charge of CFBC, and they say when he was there, monies went missing daily. Every day, money went missing at CFBC. Well, he gone, and a new one come. And under this one now, multiple people went to prison. And nobody must ask anything. Well, let me tell you, my time is short. They win coal in Fountain. So I'm going to wrap up now by saying to the people of Fountain and to the people of this great parish of St. James that the Honorable Alexis Jeffers has demonstrated his leadership. The Honorable Alexis Jeffers has no question mark over his head. He did not just wake up one day and say that he's in politics. He has served in every capacity in this parish. He has served the people of Nevis. Cricket, businessman, AYPA, they say even used to run a nightclub. He has done most and many things to serve this island. And when he came back here from the United States, one of the things I've always said about this young man, Alexis Jeffers, he went to the embassy in Barbados. Nobody asked him. And he told them they need to take back their passport because even though he had the rights of a U.S. citizen, he said that my lot is with the people of Nevis, and that is where I want to be. No fanfare, no set of noise. Alexis Jeffers is a worker. He's a worker. He gets the job done. And that is why I'm asking the people of Fountain and the people of St. James and the people of St. Thomas and the people of number 11 to stick and stay with Alexis Jeffers. Up there in number 10, well, I could point two places. I could say over so or over so. Because wherever you go so or so, you must meet Gingerland. And I am saying to the good people of number 10, there's only one choice in number 10. And that is the Honorable Eric Evelyn.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
And I see me, Fountain tomorrow when they call to ask how was the meeting, and maybe some of them are tuning right now. Tell them I say, I, Mark Anthony Graham Brantley Esquire, that not one of them gonna bang me up in number 9.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Champion.
Why that song is so sweet, my foot and them start to move. I wonder what's going on here. Not one of them gonna bang me in number 9. Them I got tired to see me face down in Church Street. And when I go down there now, I don't tell Zook, I don't tell Eric, we're going to stand up on the government benches and we're going to watch Timo over there. We can't even say Timo. We can't even say Timo like how Douglas been telling me look like a rich child. Because Timo lose about 300 pounds already. I am predicting that by election day, And by the results are counted, we can't see Timo. Timo will be invisible.
The harder they come, the harder they'll fall.
If Timo loses any more weight, he will be invisible. I am convinced and I'm looking forward to the day, because when they want to forward with us, call 3 Hebrew boys vagabonds. Imagine that. Imagine that. Huh? The only vagabondry that we engage in was when we pick him up off corner, we dump, bathe up his skin with quailene and Dettol and clean him up and make him somebody. That is the vagabondry. So we have to stick and stay with the CCM, because the CCM has demonstrated it is the only party that is standing up for the island of Nevis.
We sticking with we CCM party, CCM party, to fight for Green City.
We want our fair share. It belongs to us. When we get it, we will have our own step program in Nevis, our own peace program, our own pop program, our own social programs. And I've already said to Eric Evelyn, Eric, you have demonstrated the empathy, the kindness, the generosity to our people. I want you to be in charge of these programs.
I'm too experienced to be taking for a stroll.
Alexis Jeffers already called for $25 million. He like to call big numbers. And he said he wants that $25 million to do what? More housing for the people of Nevis. More housing for the young people of Fountain, Westbury, the young people of Mount Lily, the young people of this parish and this constituency. More housing for the people all across Nevis. And when you see the quality of what he has produced in Maddens and around the island, you know that we're talking about excellent homes, excellent communities. I go over Maddens with Alexis. I see a big area there. I say, Alexis, what that? He say, oh, that will be the common area, the play areas for the children. What you call it? Me don't want that thing green. That will be the space for people to recreate, play, enjoy themselves. And then he Alexis to me, I believe I'm going to put in a tennis court. Me say, boy, what am to you? Me say, you know, put in something so the youngster could kick some football. He said, no, tennis court, basketball court. If you follow Zook, Zook put in swimming pool too. That's so it be. That's so it be. Quality. Quality, because that's what you do when you love people. You give them the best. When we go back to St. Kitts, when the Saints go marching in on the 5th of August, and we get our money, I am saying to the people of Nevis that
Better days are coming, change your ways.
The DJ here, better days are coming for sure. I said to you that after August 5th, we will finally be able to separate the sixth form from the Charleston Secondary School. We have a plan to create our own college in Nevis, so that our youngsters no longer have to go over to CFBC to get the training that they need. We have committed on a major infrastructural project to open up the south coast of Nevis by taking the road from Long Point all the way to Gingerland. That will open up thousands of acres of land for development in that area. We have committed to finally get our geothermal energy so that our people can get some relief from this fuel surcharge, which I know all of us are suffering from. And when we talk about fair share, you know people in Sinkers don't pay fuel surcharge. You know that? People in Sinkers do not pay fuel surcharge. The government pays it for them from the same citizenship money. But the Nevis people must pay it because we can't get what belongs to us. When I talk about unfairness, I want you all to understand what I'm talking about. Your brother and sister in Sinkers not got to pay no fuel surcharge because our passport money is taking care of that for them. But over here, we have to pay it. Well, we want to develop renewable energy. And I am committing to that. So we're talking about housing, social programs, renewable energy, infrastructure. You know, they keep going on social media talking about this road here in Fountain. Talking about Westbury Road. We already have the plan to do this road. What we did not have was the money. What we did not have was the money. And I am here tonight as the Premier of Nevis to say to the people of Fountain, your road must be done. Your road will be done. But we all know that we require resources. That is why when I hear some of them say, oh, why Nevis can't do this on its own and why Nevis can't do that on its own. How could it be fair to Nevis? Trying to do the best it can with the little that it has. But you say that of Nevis, but in St. Kitts, everything you see come from passport money. Everything. As a matter of fact, the budget in St. Kitts, on some occasions, the revenue is over 50% from CBI. More than half the money comes from CBI. But you're telling me, who went around the world and worked so hard to make our passport the number one in the entire region, well, what may I work for? May I clear ground or monkey run pan? So Nevis must not get anything from my labor. Well, who may I work for? And Nevision me be. Me never string buried on a Henley Part and me grow a Brown Hill. And Nevision me be. See Brem there. I hear Brem and I see Brem. Me and Brem used to ride donkey together. He was better than me. And he became a top jockey. No. Brem no had no horse. Brem ride horse when he big. You don't even know what you're talking about. Stay out of Brown Hill people business, Eric. Right? Brem, you remember we used to ride the Coco donkey? Exactly, that's where Brem get the training. When he rushed down the road and the donkey, me tell the donkey, ease up. Donkey run too fast with me. But that, listen, campaigns are fun, you know. We got to enjoy the camaraderie because we know that what we are about is ensuring that the candidates for the CCM are elected and sent to Bastia to do the work. That's why I like the fact that we're not going to lazy people in CCM. No lazy people in CCM. Nobody in CCM will tell you they want to pay, but they don't want to work. Y'all remember the same man used to cuss us, say we got 2 jobs? We got 2 jobs? How you could do 2 jobs? Same time? For 4 years, they call me immoral. They call me bad and reprehensible. They use all kind of word, make me go to my dictionary to find out what kind of word I'm getting. And when I hear them say they might run the same candidate, I say, Lord. Where you say about hypocrisy? Eh? Hypocrisy. And that is what is coming to the people of Nevis. Ladies and gentlemen of Fountain, I am saying to you, we have a plan. You know with us, it's about representation. You know with us that we are being set. Let me tell you something. Even in St. Kitts, in some quarters, they're saying that this is the strongest team of divisions that have ever come to Church Street.
We sticking with we CCM party to fight for Green City.
And in my experience, some weak leaders don't like strong people around them. Don't like strong people around them because they know that when it comes to Mark, when it comes to Eric, and when it comes, wash it. Because when he twists up his face, you know you can't move he. When it comes to Alexis, not one of them could budge us when we know that what we're doing is right for the people of Nevis. It's not about us. It's not about us. Because if I wanted to continue to make a salary, all I needed to do was say, Timo, yes, Timo, not Timo, 3 bags full, Timo, and I will get my pay. Instead of that, I draft the letter. Sean signed the letter. Janelle signed the letter. Lindsay signed the letter. Alexis signed the letter. Eric signed the letter. I signed the letter. And we said to the Gigi, that is 6. 6 is more than a majority of 11. And we 6 say, Timo, you're fired. But since he does not want to go that way, we will ensure that on the 5th of August, he goes that other way. And so I'm saying to the people of Fountain tonight, vote, vote, and vote overwhelmingly for a man that you know and a man who has a record of performance. And so as I leave the stage here in Fountain, CCM people, are you ready? CCM, oh Lord, I feel so good tonight. CCM, make some noise. Are you ready? Good night. God bless you.
CCM party to fight for Queen City. We stinking with we CCM party. CCM party to remove Timothy. There's a snake in the country and his name is Timothy. Tell that scam divisions want their money. He went and signed the treaty down there by the library. Calling a division is his daddy. The man is a scoundrel, it's plain to see.